Ladies and gentlemen, Rusuji Reaction. This is What If Germany Won World War I, Part 1 by the channel Alternate History Hub. The Great War changed everything. World War I was the turning point for Europe. Yeah, it was. In this series, I'll explore what changes when the war that influenced it all changed itself. Check out Dark Fi's most chilling photographs of World War. Oh, hell no. Dark Fi is just, I used to watch a lot of Dark Fi's videos, and it used to be the music he used and all the details he used, the way it was really creepy. I like that channel because it was so creepy and like that. It's called Dark Fi. Nowadays he narrates, I don't know, people are saying that it's not what it used to be because of that. He didn't used to narrate, he just used to create music and photos and just put, I guess, subtitles type of thing there. But now he has to narrate because of YouTube's rules and things. But I don't know, I have not seen his latest videos, but yeah, I don't know, I guess I'll have to check it out one day. So yeah, the Great War basically, yeah, that was a turning point. It changed a lot of things. It killed lots of European monarchies, created Middle East problem, and it changed a lot of. They created World War II. So yeah, what if Germany won World War I? I think, Ottoman Empire would still be there. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have been, disbanded like it was. I'm pretty sure it would still be there. We wouldn't have Middle East problem that we have right now, because there wouldn't be borders that would create all the issues that we have right now. It would be one Ottoman Empire, maybe. I guess some monarchies, European powerhouse monarchies would still be there. So it would be a weird thing. Like right now we are so used to majority of the country being democratic, so democracy is just, it's today's world, I guess. Monarchies and functioning monarchies is just past, thing of the past. But maybe it would be a split thing, like some of the world is run by kings and monarchs, some of the world is democratic. That's how we would be thinking things. I don't know. So maybe there wouldn't have been World War II. Or maybe there would be so many wars, but not as big as that. So maybe we would be in constant major conflicts, I guess, just like it used to in the past. I don't know. This is going to be a fun video. Remember, people, if you like my reaction, do like and subscribe. Check out the reaction did this link in the description. Check out the cast of the places like History, Old Sarcastic Production, Oversimplified, CGP Grey, Internet Historian. Then yeah, let's do this one. What is this, Fallout?
World War I was called the war to end all wars. Europe was now at a new age, a crisis, where tradition and the modern day were increasingly at odds. Industrialization progressed faster than the mentality did. The old noble ways of gentleman war clashed with the brutal reality of the trenches, and because of this, millions died. World War I was the war to end them all, because this was the last time the old European ideals would fight, the last time monarchies would reign. From who won and lost, new ideas replaced them for this industrial world, like fashion.
I mean, yeah, in a way, before World War I, up to the World War I, there was a pattern of all the, great monarchs and empires fighting. I guess that ended with World War I. World War II was just, Hitler coming back and ideologies and just major wars because of that. But monarchies and things like that, Ottoman Empire and everything fell after World War I. So in a way, it was to end all the wars that used to work in the past, I guess. World War II was just the, a rebound effect of World War I. That was even more devastating because of Hitler and all that.
And communism. Simply put, it set the stage for the next. Germany in our timeline brought Russia into civil war, caused immunity in France, and almost broke the Allies in 1917. Before you know, America. It was just by bad decisions that we saw a 20th century of American ascendance, when it easily could have become the German century. Only question is, what would this look like? What if in an alternate timeline, Germany and the Central Powers won World War I? Let's go back to 19...
Yeah, technically, you know, Manhattan Project had lots of European and German scientists, basically, who created atom bombs. If Germany had won, Germany would have created atom bombs or something like that. So it could have been German century.
With the assassination of Austrian royalty Franz Ferdinand. Ferdinand was dead by the hands of a Serb nationalist, and the dominoes began to fall into place.
Sandwich.
Treaties certainly forced a lot of countries to declare war for their allies. There was one military decision that Germany made that almost certainly lost them the entire war: invading Belgium. France had built up their military border in anticipation for a German attack. Germany, however, had a plan, the Schlieffen Plan. Bypassed the French defenses on the border by invading through Belgium, which was undefended. By going around this meat grinder, the Germans...
That's the case with Hitler too. I guess everybody thinks Belgium as a road. Yeah, how to go to France? Go through Belgium.
...would have easy access to Paris. Well, that's not so bad. Belgium's tiny. They can't defend themselves. But Germany ignored that Belgium had one key friend: the British. And the British had one single condition that it stressed shouldn't be violated: don't violate Belgian neutrality. Germany, in a Prussian fashion, believed more in military action than diplomatic consequences, and marched anyway. It was this single act that brought on the wrath of the British Empire, redefining the absolute scale of this...
Alright, I'm pausing way too much, but come on, man, really? If Germany had taken entire France, I mean, I think British would have been like, oh, okay, this is getting way too uncomfortable. I think British would have involved anyway, because in balance of power, they wouldn't like that, I guess. This is why, you know, Bismarck was constantly, you know, panicky while making moves, because he didn't just point blank want to attack things, because it would clearly involve the major powers like Britain, because nobody wants imbalance of power. If one side gets way too powerful, everybody starts sweating, I guess. So Germany just invading France and completely, you know, trying to take over it. Britain would have involved, if it would have been a bit late, but they would involve anyway.
War would be fought on. The British would block German ports and cut the transatlantic cable between the United States and Germany. In this alternate timeline, for Germany to not lose the war, one major step is it simply doesn't invade Belgium. By doing this, Germany avoids immediate conflict with Britain. Now, this doesn't guarantee the Brits would stay out of it. Keep in mind a central power victory would cement German dominance in Europe.
Seriously.
And we can't have that. But without a provocation though, this would buy Germany enough time to gain a major advantage over France, even if it was a year before Britain entered. It was 4 years of trench warfare between the British and French combined against Germany alone. France alone wouldn't even have the population to sustain a German offensive. So in this alternate timeline, Germany's military keeps France at bay through a small border they share at Alsace-Lorraine, while the majority of their forces fully mobilize against Russia, aiding their Austrian allies. Whether or not this alternate strategy would work, who knows, but it does solve the whole keep Britain out of the war thing. No matter what German military strategy is, resentment is still assured against the Tsar. Revolution can still undermine the Russian war effort like in our timeline, and force the Russians to negotiate. I'll focus on this aspect in a bit. The German forces on the Eastern Front now come to the West. Millions of troops...
Ooh, that is so good. I mean... yeah, Russia was the main thing during the start. I mean, if they had just focused on Russia and just kept the, you know, being at the French border in the meanwhile with some troops, but focusing their attack on Russia, with Soviet Union rising up, I mean, yeah, it could have worked, right? They could solve the Russia first, and then try something for France, maybe. Damn, that could have worked, but they just point blank attacked France. You know, Britain got involved in the massive trench warfare. That was just horrible that happened. Yeah.
Troops fighting in a small area until one side finally breaks. And without Britain, that side is most likely France.
Yeah, definitely.
Germany then invades. In our timeline, Germany almost destroyed the French defense in 1917, before the Americans arrived. So it wouldn't be long before the French simply can't defend themselves and are pushed back. Soon...
Wait a minute, Americans wouldn't be involved if Britain is not involved, because there are no blockades, there are no US ships that get destroyed then, so US would have to get involved. So yeah, there is no British blockade because British are not involved. Germany didn't destroy any US ship because of the blockades. So yeah, the US would not be involved when invading France, right? I think they would stay neutral.
Paris falls, The war in the West and the East is officially over. Both sides tried to fight Germany and lost. Would Britain just sit back and allow Germany to beat two nations in a war, achieving complete dominance over mainland Europe? Probably not. They'd declare war. It's unlikely, however, that they'd win. As the British were the masters of the sea, the Germans were the dominant military of the land. It's doubtful Britain alone could put a dent in the German occupation. America would simply stay out of the
I think it's a Napoleon situation, isn't it? But now planes are involved, so I don't know.
war. In exchange for a ceasefire, an agreement is made very similar to the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. In just one signing of a document, Germany and Austria-Hungary seized Poland, the Baltic states, Belarus, and all of the Ukraine and Crimea. By 1918, most of Europe is now either a Germanic puppet or in the Empire. Why would they do this? Germany feared Russian dominance. Russia for centuries was this backwater European wannabe. It had size and manpower, but was woefully poor and far behind technologically. In the last few decades, something changed. It began industrializing rapidly, and if Russia fully industrialized, there was no defeating them. By seizing their valuable lands, diplomatically by military agreement, Germany legally can neuter the Russian state. Quarter of their population, now German. Most of their coal, now German. But this is just the beginning. If there's one thing Slavs don't like, it's being invaded and occupied.
Yeah.
So the 2 million German troops in the east now face a guerrilla war against insurgents, including ones funded by the Soviets.
I was just about to say that, like, yeah, okay, Germany take that, but are they going to stay German? I mean, lots of guerrilla warfare would happen.
France is blamed for putting the worst of the reparations on Germany, but it's not like Germany would be so kind if they were in the same position. In this alternate timeline, Germany keeps Alsace-Lorraine. They impose massive amounts of war reparations, and the French people have to deal with a brief German occupation. Imagine France at this time. They had lost 2 wars now to the new German Empire, basically powerless to stop a state that was practically brand new. It's not hard to imagine elements of French society would be resentful against the Germans. Does this mean we'll have an alternate French Hitler? Probably not. Even if France actually did have a French Hitler, they just don't have the population to win a war. World War I was...
Yeah, I think real Hitler would go to art school in this universe, apparently. Because Germany already won, I mean, yeah.
defining for one reason. It set the stage for who the winners and losers would be in the 20th century. Not just in terms of borders, but ideology. Old European aristocratic ways died with the Kaiser and the Austrian Emperor.
Yeah.
Don't think Germany and Austria expand monarchies to France or make the king a new power in Britain, but they do send a message that old European aristocracy and nobility is still relevant. It's very possible that the 20th century could have become the German century. The Germans wanted an economic union that united all people of Europe around Germany. Without the rise of the Nazis, intellectuals, including people like Albert Einstein, continued their scientific endeavors inside Germany. However,
yeah, that is what I was talking about. During the Manhattan Project, lots of scientists went to US, but in this, if Germany won in World War I, they probably wouldn't have. Probably stayed in Germany. All the German scientists and European scientists would still be there. Germany would become the scientific hub. Germany was scientific hub, but world wars killed it. But without this, Germany would still be the scientific hub instead of USA. So I guess it would be a really different picture, I guess. And like I said, it would be like half democratic countries, half monarch king countries because of Germany. If Germany wins World War I.
We're just getting started. The Central Powers have established themselves as victors in this war. What matters is how they use this victory. This, however, is one scenario. This is Cody of Alternate History Hub.
Yeah, Five Nightmare Fuel Photos from World War I, damn. Alright, so this is a fun type of topic, man. I like it. What if Germany won World War I? The Ottoman Empire would still be there. We wouldn't have any Middle East issues. 9/11 probably wouldn't have happened because we wouldn't have any Middle East issues. All the shit that's going on right now there won't exist, but monarchies would still be there in lots of places. Germany would, would be still, I guess. I don't know. I think conflicts, even the Middle East conflict wouldn't be there. I guess old shit conflicts would still be there between powers. Fight in Europe basically, and since now China and India and everybody's rising up, I guess they will follow similar things. Since the wars happening in Europe, wars would start happening in US too, because I don't know, maybe atomic bomb would still get made. Maybe they would seize all the conflicts around the world, probably, because if it's not in US, then maybe Germany builds it, but it finds its way around the world, so everybody has atomic bomb just like everybody has right now. And eventually, I guess, even though there are monarchies, even though Germany is a powerhouse, it would be still like today, where people don't just point blank go to conflicts because people have atomic bombs now. I don't know. It would be something. Alright people, that was What If Germany Won World War I, Part 1 by Alternate History Hub. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe so I know which type of videos and which type of channels to react to more. Comment down if you want to react to any other video. And check out the cards, check out the end cards, and I'll see you next time.